Good morning. Welcome to Sunday morning coffee. That'll stop bouncing at the moment. 1st of 2025. Happy New Year. Yep, that's it, really. Woo. But it's good to see you in text form. Do not, like I said before, don't have weird little reverse cams into all of you watching. That would be problematic. A bunch of different names and unusual names. So hello. I hope you have survived the Christmas and New Year break. I'm always hesitant to say I hope you had a wonderful one because I know lots of people don't. But I hope you've, on somewhere of the scale from made it through to the other side, had a brilliant time. Any of those categories. Um, I haven't seen you since last year. Um, I've got a bunch of stuff to talk about. Of a bit of a, I need to like put me down here a bit. There we are. Oi. There we are. That's a bit better. Um, things to go over from. Oh no, right, weird angle. You've got like it. Things that to go through from 2024 and a little bit of what's in store for 2025. As much as New Year's and dates and all that are quite arbitrary, they do somehow kind of sink into your brain a bit. So I do see them as like a bit of end and start, and that kind of helps, like having deadlines. So it's like the year's a deadline. Mug reveal. It is snowing. Yes, we do have snow in Nottingham. We have a bit of a rubbish snow, but there is snow. But it's like that here. Let me just take a sip from the peak cup. Woo, the peak cup. Hey, Jemmy's here. Hey. Firstly, the most surprising bit of news. I am going to have to move that again. That way, that'll do it. Possibly the most surprising bit of news is that I've got nail varnish on. They've grown a little bit. Been using any excuse to go, oh yes, the item, yes. That proves that I have been relaxing, although they're already pretty chipped. But that was my sign of I'm not doing the manual labour over Christmas. Yay! Jazz woke up vomiting, hallucinating, fever, burning skin, and joint pain on Christmas Day. Woo! Santa did it all in one night. I'm glad you're feeling a bit better, though still not glad that you're feeling awful. But you have got an inch of snow, so yeah. Yeah, no, it's girly, girly. So where shall I start? Um, shall I start? So I'll say a bit of a roundup. What have I? Where have I been for the last few weeks? I can't remember the last live I did now. I know I was pondering doing one in the other break, but decided against it because I was doing an absolute no to everything. Um, so I had a nice Christmas here with Andy, my housemate, also known as Andy 2D6. Go and subscribe. We had a nice little Christmas here, Christmas walk. Then I've been on adventures. Then I went to see Ian and Joe Fenris Games and their parents over in Lincoln Town. So I went to see them. And then I went to see Lil till yesterday morning. I got back yesterday morning. I have been in the house in between, but I think I was getting a bit into the sleeping in too late and then pottering about the house. So I thought I'll go to mum's for a bit longer because she won't let me do that. She starts shouting at me if I don't get up early enough. So I did that. I brought a whole bunch of books. I'll go into that in a bit. So I've been working at mum's, but she can confirm that I wasn't fully working. I was doing fun work. And she can also confirm the enthusiasm that I had for it. So there. Um, all a nice cup of coffee there. Mm. Yeah, good coffee. It is cold out there. And I've been painting. I've got some cool show and tells of my painting. So I wanted to thank Tim, Sim, Jim, and Ben for surprising me with things from my Amazon wish list. It was very nice. I got this whole like stream books come in, And because Amazon tend to do the whole we send you all one thing at a time, the guy had this like pile of stuff. I was like, did I order things? I can't remember. So I've got some brilliant history books from you lot. So thank you very much. That's very cool. And it made me super happy. I was like, what? Didn't order? Oh, it's from the wish list. So yes, thank you. Thank you. I get that. So, I don't know where to start. I don't know where to start. Let's get that from. So, events, things I liked about 2024. Should we do that? Um, I've got, you can't see, but I've got my hands crossed like that, in that like I'm a TV presenter. Things from 2024 that were good. Events. I went to more talks and exhibitions last year than any other year, and it was ace. And last night, no, the night before. Oh yeah, I have something very funny to show you as well. The night before, I sat and I was trying to find as many talks and events as I could fill up the calendar for the year. So I've got some things to look forward to and to make sure I keep at it, because there's always events that I see and it's too late. Like, they're not going to get ahead of me this time. So if there's any cool history talks or anything especially to do with women, but not always, could just be general. If you see anything you think, oh, Annie might like that, post it in the group or email me, because there's no one place to find them all. So I was diving around the internet, searching various terms, and so for the year ahead, I've already booked a whole bunch of events, in person and online. Something that I want to alert everybody to is Gloucester History Festival. C Shapes History Podcast. Let me just write that there. Oh, this is a nice pen. Oh yeah. Thank you, MJ. Times it in Oz as well. At the moment. What was I going to say? Talks. Gloucester History Festival. We have a spring and a autumn event, and I always seem to miss it. And Janina Ramirez, who is God, is the president of it, and she always gets a really good lineup. I've never been, but I was scooping around. Oh, night time for you. I was scooping around Kinzo. Okay. I was scooping and Peter. If I haven't called you out, it's because I was distracted. There is, I was rootling around the website and found that there is one called the Digital Winter Thingy. And by looking through last year's lineup, I think it's recordings from the autumn one. But they're £6 an event or £30 for the whole event. And I think I should be sponsored. The tickets go on sale on the 10th of January. Set a little reminder, and I'm going to get the ticket for everything, which is £30, because I made a list of all the ones that I'd like to watch. You don't have to watch them live, you get to watch them up till the 6th of March, so you can watch them at your leisure. I want to watch some of them live, just in case there's any chat online anywhere that I can insert myself into, as always. But there's some brilliant talks on that, so go have a look at Gloucester History Festival, and you don't have to be in Gloucester either, which is handy. I have had a look at potentially going for a day or two to one of the in-person ones, but it's got to be a good percentage of talks that I'd like to go to, otherwise it gets very expensive, obviously. I'm going to keep my eye on that. I am now bonded to Rob Grayson with a joint Chums rail card, because he's coming with me and we're meeting Alec in London at the end of the month for a talk, an all-day series of talks. And we were looking at the train costs, and it was cheaper to get a rail card, to buy the rail card for two people and get the tickets, than to get the tickets without the rail card. So we thought, well, we might as well do that. And then if we want to go on any other little trips anywhere, it's like 30% off, which is nice. So Rob, bless him, got it all sorted yesterday, because I've been trying to avoid braining. So he went, I've got it all sorted. Jill says, did you see Hannah Fry has a documentary on the Bee but about Ada Lovelace? I have. I don't. It's up soon, isn't it? Someone posted it in Baggy's Cave, but I didn't see a date on there. But that'll be cool. What am I looking for? The horrific horrific rail cards that me and Rob now have, which I believe will be. Let me get the right place. Nope. I believe will be used in the newspapers at some point. Dun-dun-dun. But I had no idea that that was a thing. So I may end up getting joint train tickets, train things with a bunch of people because that was a good idea. I didn't even know they were a thing. Let me look. British trains, absolute nightmare. What am I clicking? Ah, I'll find it because I sent it to Rob. Uh, so this is the two together rail card that me and Rob have. And as you can see, this is going to be featured in the news for some crimes. Look at those two. Mine's so good. It's the passport picture that I used. It's like I've got like a Lemmy moustache. It's not. So yeah, we're going to be hitting London town and committing crimes allegedly. Not really. So that was fun. So it means I've got some chums for various talks. So I'm not doing them all alone. I like a good mixture of it. So there's lots of events I've got planned this year. Is what I was getting at. It's good to expand the knowledge, gets me more infused for projects because you're around other people that are interested in the same sort of thing. And I usually do a little cheeky bit of usually for going to these events, getting chatting. I've got Bonnie and Clyde. um, I've got a starting to build up people from a variety from people I know, people I'm now friends with, among sort of historians and those sort of folk, which is really good because I've now got people in that adjacent land. So people that what's it? People that can help, or at least help either cross promote or with research or vision or pointing me in the right direction, that sort of thing. It's nice to have that connection with the people. So that's been really ace. So the people I met last year, and some of them I went to various talks. And it's I don't know if it's bad or good when you do a Q&A and instead of just like woman in the jumper, it's like Annie over there. Hi, it's me again. And Lil says, told you about them ages ago. What, the two people rail card? Did you know about that? Mm, I get loads of rail cards. I'm gonna have a load with all my besties who just go that out. So that was pretty cool. A rail card. Um, one of them is at Bletchley Park, and I get to use my Bletchley Park ticket that lasts all year. Woo! So I'm very excited about that, and again, very happy that I made the effort to go to so many last year. I normally do if there's something I see, but I made extra effort to sort of travel around um, and see and experience as much firsthand. So not just the talks, going to the exhibitions. Went to Lee's Armory at least 3 times. I feel it was 4 last year. Um, just looking around the physical objects and yeah, just getting that bit of inspiration and that I think that's really helped. That helped the business, but also me. It's been really nice to do that. Just and to take what I really liked was taking minis to places and photographing them. So there's going to be a bunch of that. I'm already like, oh, what mini shall I bring to that? um, so oh, Peter was watching Drunk History on YouTube about Sadie the goat. Was she a real goat or like the god of all time sort of goat or a goat? Um, Pandemonium, way, Happy New Year. So what else have I got on my little list of things? Went to cool places, met cool people, um, traveled around quite a lot, which is nice, and I like it. When I went to Lil's at the middle of the week, wasn't feeling that great. Then I got on the train and I was like, I thought all they need to do is the NHS just prescribe a little train ride, not the hell train ride because that does the opposite effect. Which is a nice little train ride. They'll find you an off-peak nobody around really. Go on, have a little train ride. You get to sit and go and have a little coffee and go, oh, isn't this nice? So more of that this year there will be for sure. So that's that. Signed up. My favourite event from last year was Camping Kit Bash, which I think I bored everyone to death about, but it was life changing. It was that good. But also in that category is Mates and Minis, the one that Curtis ran in Nottingham. That was a sort of precursor. I don't think I'd have gone to Kit. No, I wouldn't have gone to Kit Bash if I hadn't gone to Mates and Minis, because I wouldn't have met those people beforehand, and I probably wouldn't have heard of it. We got and yeah, if you missed me talking about it at any point, it was going to Ghent with a bunch of people, meeting a whole new bunch of people, sculpting, painting, hanging out, being silly, and it was just really, really nice. And everybody there was lovely. That's what was shocking. There was not one person where I was a bit like, oh no, that guy. It was just everyone was lovely, and to meet that many lovely people that are really talented as well, and that was really inspiring, and everyone sort of sharing skills, and it was just really nice, and it was like, this is what it's about. I think it's very easy to get stuck on the internet, which is also why I'm glad that I pretty much disconnected from it this week, because you just end up in this like, well, the doom scroll void online, and you think that the hobby is just people arguing with each other all the time, or all Games Workshop. But when you get out there and actually seeing people, it's like, oh, this is wonderful. There's such a like bustling artistic community sort of coming out of this. And that was really good. And just finding so many people, such as Kinsfolk Miniatures. I have some finished painted of yours. If you stick around, I will be showing off. Yeah, just a lot of people that I hadn't seen because of algorithms and whatnot. People, yeah, making minis, making games, and it's just really been really inspiring, and it's made me really happy. And I want to try and get to some more of those. To the point that I might learn how to play Turnip or Aetherpunk or something, so I can go to one of those events, because the people at the events just look so lovely, and that's a good sign of a good game, that you want to go because of the people. You've made a good community. Like, that's really lovely. Oh, look at these. Right. What else was good? Um, what Kickstarters did I do? We did two little ones, and they were very good. Did we do two? My Last Sunrise 2. It's free. Did we do just My Last Sunrise? Gosh. No, we did Damsels. Did we do any in the earlier part of the year? I can't remember. We did Damsels 2. Did we do My Last Sunrise 2 this year? I don't know. This year, last year. We definitely not Damsels 2. And that was very short and very sweet, very good. I very last minute decided to do a Kickstarter of 6 miniatures, which turned out to be like mini for mini, probably the most successful one that there was that we've done, in terms of profit per miniature sort of thing. So that will be filling this month, which is pretty wild as well. So I'm happy about that. So that's taught me to do more smaller Kickstarters, not to yes, we've got backdrops. I'll go on to the backdrops in a moment. Yes, so a lot of, well, a lot, but majority, no, not majority, some of the new releases. Ghouls shipped in February. I think that was it, because it was on just before Christmas, I think. Um, what was I braining? Kickstarters, smalls. Yes, some of the new releases last year bombed, tanked, fell in a hole, and was never seen again. But but moving upwards, I've learned that Kickstarters are still, especially if they're small, are good. So I'm making a lot of changes to how we're doing stuff this year, and it's going to be focused on more regular but smaller Kickstarters, and less random stuff, which is a shame sometimes, but if you follow this for a while, it's just really difficult at the moment. I say this smiling because I'm in like a good, yeah, let's solve the problem rather than it's a game. It's the game of business. So instead of some, there'll still be some random stuff because it always happens because it's me, and I'll see something like a guy made out of arrows or something and go, yeah, I'll do guy made out of arrows. But it's more going to be structured, actually properly structured. And some wise man last week said that a good bit of advice, which was to not let people put stuff on your desk. I went, oh, that is good. So I want to focus. This is a commitment. I've got such a urge to do a whole bunch of historical minis, Val and Marsh. We're going to do it. I know I announced it last year, but again, just sometimes you don't meet targets, and it's fine because what's the downside of not meeting? It's not like if I don't do this by August, then the world will end. It just means it wasn't able to happen. So I did make a big deal of the resistance sort of early last year, and then it kind of kept getting shelved for potentially sometimes things that were put on my desk, and I'm going to and I've made sure to been doing a whole bunch of research. I'll go into that bit, write it down on the list so I don't forget. World War II. But I want to do. That sounds really bad, like I've been forced to forced to do things. I'm very easily distracted, and I want to make a solid plan this year and stick to it, because maybe back in the day, especially even in that golden minis era before my time, you could just do that, build it, they'll come. Whereas now there needs to be more of a plan, more of a structure, because people aren't buying minis like they used to. So it's got to be a bit more behind, will this one make money, which is a shame for all the whimsical weirdies, but I always sneak some in, so don't worry about it. It's not like I'm just going to release a load of boring, I'll do a load of World War II German guys like every other company or anything like that. It's going to all be really cool. That'll all be a bit more structured, but that'll be good, so it'll all be all win-win. Yeah, I'll go into that in a minute. What that next project's going to be. Yeah, and then as Boy Phil says, "I'm your guinea pigs. Chuck it in, chuck it in." But yeah, there were too many sculpts last year that didn't pay for them. Well, will pay for themselves eventually, but ended up just costing me, and say everything is so much tighter. I'm sure my rent's going to go up next month because it always goes up next month. So it's that trying to budget a lot tighter, which I'll go into the GSPR. Woo! So we're currently not shipping to Europe, but we should be soon. It's a whole thing that I need to finish the last of sorting with the agent, and I just haven't, because I had like 2 weeks off. So there, 2 weeks off. Nice. Oh, it's been good. And I'll say I have been working, but not doing that sort of work. That's the stuff that I think. So I've been pretty mentally unwell the last kind of November, December. To be fair, I thought it was November. I thought it had gone in December, but it actually got worse to the point that it just really escalated, and I got super, super unwell. But part of that has been not being able to do the fun creative bits of this job, and the bits that's what I live for, the research, the exploration, turning that research into a mini, teaching people about it, because I've been stuck under things like new regulation changes, and they're not things that I naturally am a fan of. People are. I'm as bad as I could be fair, because you get a lot of people say, oh, you're either artistic or you're, words and maths. I'm actually a pretty good mixture of the two. I know you may be thinking, what? But I'm pretty good with that sort of stuff, but I don't enjoy it. So I need to start structure again. It's all about structure. And just figure it, because I just don't have enough time in the day, and that gets me very frustrated, because I'll promise something like last year I said resistance coming in the summer, and then it's summer and it hasn't happened. But I always just want to make sure that everyone knows that I'm really wanting all these things to happen, but stuff gets in the way, which is Jez says you're awful at everything. I doubt. I have evidence of that. That means you're a liar, which means, oh no, means you're bad at lying, because that lie didn't work. So maybe that's your weakness. So what I was rambling on there. It's a bit of like a business roundup of stuffs. Yeah, maybe try delegate. I always say that every year I'll try and delegate. But yeah, I do just want to get my head into this. Like, okay, I'm having issues. Um, how can I fix it rather than just going, oh, that's it. It's all terrible. It's all terrible. Everyone hates. As I usually say, whereas it looks like maybe I'm just terrible, it's not. Everyone's having a really bad time. Every mini company I've spoke to is struggling in some way or another. Um, so, so yeah, it's just figuring out how to fix it rather than passing any sadness onto you, because that annoys me when I see when I see that, like, oh, you have to pay my rent, you have to do it because I slave. You're like, no, I want to make the things that then make you want to buy the things, but also there's a terrible economy where a lot of people just don't have the spare money, so you need more of a reason to get it. So all that sort of stuff, where I know lots of time people think, oh, that's a really cool mini, but I don't know what to do with it. So if I'm making them more in these structured, a chunk of World War II resistance, you can have a plan for that, but you don't have to. You can buy them anyway. Um, what was it? Oh, that's a good one. That's a Peter said, when I worked in retail and staff stressed if something didn't get done, ask, is it a dialysis machine? Now I work in social care, I can't use that anymore. So no, it's true. Well, I put a post on Blue Sky yesterday, and I don't know if everyone quite got where I was going with it, but I said something like, I felt a bit guilty that I've had time off. Because I had signs across the website, but I'm just me rolling my sleeves up. But I still have had a bunch of where's my order? I'm like, on holiday, and then like, should I be on a holiday? I guess I should go back. And then because I've been browsing a bit of social media, you then see that it's that like, oh, there's people that bought stuff off other companies years ago and they haven't got it, so maybe I'm not the worst. But then a lot of people, so I posted something like that, and then a bunch of people are like, it's because you're amazing. I'm like, no, I'm not amazing. Oh, I am, but in different ways. But like, people giving you money, like, the being a shop is people give you money and then you give them the product. That's the deal. That's the deal you're making. So giving the people the product, like a quality product in a short amount of time after they purchased it, shouldn't be exceptional. That's just the deal. That's how it works. So it was a bit shocking to see, because I again live in my own little world, just to see how some others are not doing that. I'm like, oh, okay, like, I shouldn't be getting applauded for not, like, can the bar just be raised? And I think a few people were like, oh, it's not Amazon. I'm like, no, I'm not. I totally, as somebody who has had loads of issues, when I moved, there was delays, but and yeah, small businesses shouldn't be compared to Amazon and all that. But as long as you communicate, that's always been as long as you communicate, so it's like, right, taking 2 weeks off, it's a small business, that's it. But it's what's it? What's the word? Oh, so brain. Standards. Hang on, I'll take a sip of coffee while I'm thinking. Yeah, small businesses aren't Amazon, but well, you see, when people have had these big weights, and then the company's not said anything. Oh, I don't know what I was going. I was going for something. I'll get there. Barbie and Low. You see a lot of people go, oh, it's just toy soldiers. And so it always gives me this little like rage, because I'm like, it's not just toy soldiers. It's someone's money. People have worked to make that money to give to you in exchange for a thing. So you need to give them the thing. And if you can't give them the thing, either give them the money back or a good, a reason, like, I'll ship it later for you if you're okay to wait, or we can ship you some, that sort of thing. So yeah, that baffled me a bit, and it doesn't make me go, oh, that's fine, I can slow down. I like having my own standards, but yeah, I was just a bit shook. It's like, what? People are people aren't shipping orders for like months or years, and then they're doing sales and like releasing new things, but not shipping the other. And I think stuff like that maybe was normal, like back in the day where it was they'll be shipped within 30 days, and now it's not. um, what have we got there? I don't know. Yes, yeah, the silence is the terrible. Yeah, as Jez says, it may be the only spare cash that person has. They've agonised for weeks over buying it. Everything is important. Yeah, it's not just toy soldiers. It's your spare time and your cash and your labour. So, um, and that's not me saying, "Oh, I'm better than everyone else." Either. After I'd posted last night, I was like, "Oh no, it's come across bad. It's come across bad." What have we got? Just reading the comments because there were a bunch of comments. Jill, you said an order turned up, you forgot you ordered in November. Was that from me? Did it take that long to get there? Pete says maybe we should go back to a stamped addressed envelope for a catalogue with no pictures. Yes. So I think the gist of it all was me being hard on myself and then going, hang on, I'm doing better than a lot of people that have more resources. So I am actually doing all right. Because there was a gif of her that was like, "You're doing good, kid." I was like, "I'm doing good, I'm doing good." I was trying to explain to somebody recently who lives in a very traditional sort of sense that at the moment, like, because life is, in the so again, this is me making sure I get things phrased correctly. There are plenty of people that live in that sort of um, split household of one person takes care of one thing, other person takes care of another. So the traditional setup is man works and provides, woman does house sort of house family, and a lot of people do that. It's not necessarily bad. The whole point is choice. If you choose to do that, that's what you want to do. It's great. There's people that do it the other way around. There's people that do it same sex, all that sort of stuff. There's all these different ways. But I was trying to explain to somebody that has that sort of almost 50-50 split thing that my circumstance is that I have to do both. And that's also me not going, "Oh, I'm excellent. Look at all the stuff I do." But again, when I'm being hard on myself and I'm like, "Oh, I just, I can't get everything perfect." It's like, well, I am running an entire business and I am running my entire life. So those are like two major jobs that are all, managing the two by myself is a lot. So it's okay to be a bit knackered sometimes. I think that's it, rather than just go, "Oh, I'm such a loser." Like, actually, on the lines. Yeah, David says when there's zero communication. Yes, that always baffles me. Something. Yeah, Jill says doing everything yourself is exhausting, and then you have to cook for yourself at the end of it all. So I was trying to explain to the person that's like, "Yeah, but I still have to tidy up at work." I'm like, "Yeah, I have to tidy up at work and then come home and tidy up at home, and the time for an actual like life in between that is quite small." And again, that's not moaning about it. It's just how it is. So instead of being down on it, I should be like, "Dang, I do a lot and I do it well." So there. So there. There. It's been like 2 weeks of me arguing with myself. Robert says that you're in a bully talking. It's true. Um, Something I heard ages ago was like giving a reason behind thing, and it was, I said it before, it's a bit cliche, but it was something like if they announced that the train's delayed, everyone's like, "Ugh." But if you explain why, then it's a bit more understanding. Um, so although I never want to just go, here's an excuse, just checking in and going, yeah, this is happening here. So that'll blend me into working with different people this year, or working with the same people again. So John on his backdrops, for example. So John's John Hodden has been doing these wonderful backdrops. I've been involved, in a small capacity. I do feel a bit bad sometimes because people post, "I got these Annie backdrops." Like, no, they're John's. They're very much John's backdrops. I'm just that person that where is it, like at the supermarket going, oh look, check out these backups, see how they work. But something he does is he always makes sure that he updates a Kickstarter once a month. So again, going back to I don't want to say like anyone who has delays and stuff is a problem. I've had a whole bunch of delays with community minis we'll get into. Um, but keeping people informed, I think that's the goal, to be as straightforward as possible. So something like that John does is he always makes sure that a Kickstarter gets a monthly update, even when nothing's happening. It's just like a peace of mind update. So we had delays with the backdrops. That went into a whole, like, again, that end of the year, just lots of things weren't working as they should, and I think that kind of piled up. But the backdrops were late. And it was an issue with the printers. I can't really go into it. I think John's done some videos about it. But it was like people are doing the best that they can. John's updating it. I'm there going, it's okay, you can trust me too, and I'm not stressed. Well, I'm stressed because I want them to be out so people are happy, but it's like, it's going to happen. So that's all cool. So I was really pleased. I really like working with John. Rumor on the rumor mill is backdrops free next year. This year it's 2025. So yeah, I'm not saying I'm perfect and the best. Stuff happens, but as long as you let people know, it's only the people that are going to be dickheads that will carry on moaning. Well, that's not good enough. I'm like, well, what do you want us to do? We can't. What have I missed there? Yes, oh boy, they are books for taking photos of minis on. There's two in existence, but there's a whole bunch more. I do have them in stock. I'm not allowed to ship them right yet. They're technically pre-orders, though I am aware it doesn't say pre-order on them, because I need to check in with John. But we've purposefully only communicated in memes over Christmas to, again, just stop us talking work when we should be not working. So I'm going to talk to him next week. And as soon as it's confirmed that the last of the backdrops shipped from the Kickstarter, then I'll ship mine, and I'm thinking it will be next week. So I thought, well, there's not going to be a delay then anyway. So yeah, working with John has been ace. Getting a bit of a say on what some of the backdrops are and getting to promote them has been really nice. I love them. I think I am Backdrop's biggest fan, and that helps. Helps as well. Really, really happy that I got the whole bunch of those new ones, the A3 and A4, because I think you can use the two of the same one to different results. And also, I did just skim past that. You can pre-order the new ones on the website. Whatever ones you want, there's live stock on there. So if you order it, it means I've got it in the shop. I don't have tons of the A3 because I'm not sure how popular they'll be. So if you did want one, I would recommend getting that. And they also, the new ones don't have the pictures yet that show every single picture from each one. So I'll be sorting that out next week, so you actually get an idea of a bit more what's inside. Alex says, Bad Squiddo photographs are such great quality and fun to paint. Thank you. Check in the post. I've been asked to pay someone from check again recently, and I've had to message them and go, please let me do a bank transfer, please. What else was I going to say? Back to my weird ramble of yeah, I'm not saying everyone has to ship everything the second it arrives or anything like that, but it's basic manners are nice, aren't they? So again, it makes me really appreciative of all your lot, 'cause you're really nice. And so when I chat to other companies, even smaller, or similar size sort of companies, the amount of stuff they have to deal with these really horrible emails if things are a little bit late and all that. But I do think having that open dialogue helps a lot, because when you don't know, especially on Kickstarter, where I'm twisting, especially on Kickstarter, there's people are very tetchy, and I've had to explain that to people, and they're like, "Why are people so mad at me?" Like, it's a mixture of some people just being quite rude, but also that's exacerbated. Everyone's just a little bit more angrier on Kickstarter because they've been screwed over. And that's what annoys me, not me going, oh, I'm so much better. Look at me, I ship my things. So every time I see a minis Kickstarter that like doesn't get fulfilled or has these massive periods silence or people aren't getting it, that's a percentage of that Kickstarter backers are going to go, you know what, I'm done with Kickstarter, I'm done. And that's totally understandable because you think, well, I've paid this money and I haven't got my thing. So I'm not going to be doing that anymore, and sort of blame the platform. So I think that's why I get annoyed, because I think, what are you doing? You're costing me customers, and you lot trust me. I think, hopefully, but for the wider bit, someone that's maybe sees it, hasn't seen the company before, and they're like, oh, those minis are nice. I don't really want to get in on it in case I don't get it because I didn't get it from that other guy's one. So that's why I do like, again, that John does his once a month updates, even when things are nothing's happening. And I don't do it as structured as him, but I just try and keep it updated to go, there's nothing happening, but I'm still here, I haven't run off your money. Or not, there's nothing happening, but there's things that I can't really, like, they're casting it. Got anything to show you, they're casting it or they're sculpting it. And with him, there's a lot of books, it's like things are being written. That's about it. So yeah, I'm proud of being that sort of transparent with stuff. Which sometimes probably a little bit too transparent, but that's fine. And especially when things are going like, maybe we should do all the releases on Kickstarter, and then there's people kind of screwing it up. I'm like, yeah. But hopefully it's good. It's a curse if you're new, because more people are then like, who's this person who's popped up? Whereas I've got the advantage, I guess, of being established enough that I've got that built-in trust. So I think that's why it's been helping. Whereas, for example, if Kinsfolk Miniatures there, pointing at him, did a Kickstarter, may have to deal with people going, ooh, who's this stranger? Although if you ever did Kinsfolk, I would give it a little share around, so maybe you should do that. Also, talking about Kinsfolk, I thought you'd been sculpting for ages, and then you posted the everything I made this year post up and said they were all from like June. So come on, make some more. Make some more. Do a Kickstarter. Do a Kickstarter. People see them. People see them. Oh, actually, now that's a good way to move on. I did a little bit of painting over the holidays. I mostly finished what was on the desk. They're in a box because I was taking them to the office to photograph, but I didn't get that far. So let me get the box. Woo-wee. But going back to that, it's why it's even more important to sort of work together and support each other, because that's that sort of organic way that people find things. And yeah, if so someone sees a company they haven't heard of, but the stuff looks nice, but they're still not sure. But then somebody else, such as myself, goes, oh yeah, that guy's cool. Then that's going to make such a big difference. And that's something I benefited from, I think, in the earlier days of my excellent socializing, which actually fits to the World War II bit of info I've been learning. So I've written that. Let me just drink this. So I haven't even shown anyone these things yet. So I've been painting, it's all gory, everything here is gory, but I declared some stuff finished. So first is the Mantic Games free up. Look at him! He's a ghoul, and I've painted him a bit like that first zombie. I'll take some proper photos on John Hodgson backdrops. I've painted him a bit like that first zombie in Resident Evil, first one, obviously. You won't see, way the old hand trick. Oh, look at those nails! Oh, gory. Andy knocked his finger off. Blame Andy. Andy knocked him off the table and his finger fell off, but just put blood on it. So I'm paranoid of everyone thinking it's a knockoff. It's an original cast of the free up from TWEETIES Games. They still occasionally do it, I think. They used to do it more, where they'd sell the free ups. I think they were like 30 quid or something. Because I got this and I got the skeleton one. And I've just had it in a box. I'm going to paint it. And it's not for anything. Look, I've just painted the little base that it comes on. Yeah, kinsfolk, send me a message because I'm just going to be bumming around today. Do a Kickstarter tutorial. The idea of starting my first Kickstarter failing dramatically isn't a fun thought, so I do something small. And yeah, look, see, you've already got a built-in folk there. What's the saying? Brain. Yeah, and that's it. If it does fail, then you figure it out and do it again. That's it. I was petrified for my first one, especially because someone said that there's no way I'd make a grand, and I believed my own hype and just totally destroyed my self-confidence just before the project. And I thought, that's it. Yeah, maybe I am a scum. Maybe that's and yeah, it did 11 grand. And funnily enough, the person never mentioned it again. So yeah, here's oh look, yes, this is oh, cool. So yeah, I love that. Mantic will free up. So he's not. None of these are for any specific purpose. Yeah, small Kickstarters. If you want to do in resin, set you up. I know they. The next thing I've painted is by Wilhelm, who I met at Camping Kit Bash, and it's in the Squiddo Book of Grudges. It is. I watched the Father Ted Christmas special, obviously, over Christmas, and it is. Now we move on to the liars. It is my fantasy or my grudge book. Yes. How's that go for you? So I've painted these from Wilhelm, and they're a bit of a freestyle to try something out, and I'm really happy with them. So I painted them blue, light blue, and then just put loads of inks over them. So here's the nails aren't as nice as mine. Whee. So these are the toes. Oh, there we are. So it's a terrain that's just fingers and toes. So again, there will be better pictures. I got to use my my blood, which I love. My blood, not my blood. So it's just a bit sort of splodgy, but it's fun. Going to use them as foreground terrain. So when I'm up at them like that, and then photograph things behind, so they're probably going to be the out of focus. So you could get a photo. I think I'm having secret comments through here. I'll have to have a look. You can get a photo through these gaps. That's what I like looking at for bits of terrain. So these are all by Wilhelm. They're sold by Mammoth Miniatures, who is very nice. So there, look, those little bits of terrain, all done, all done. Let me just see if I've got any troll comments on my phone because it's been WhatsApping. I got there. I knew it. I knew it. Maybe. We got next. So there's the thing. Yeah, the whole. Yeah. Finished my nearly finished my horse house. I haven't actually seen it in the lights because yeah. So he's going to be based at the office because I've got all the bear scatter there and tufts. But here's the gist. So this was part of Teen Fieldlings challenge, although I missed the I missed the brain. Missed the deadline, but it doesn't matter. It was the building horse was the journey, the something friends we made along the way. So he's Ratty says 4-step perspective. Tim Burton does this in his movies. Ask me how I know. How do you know, Ratty Rex? So it's a horse from Schleich, covered in glue gun melts. I had a lot of fun with the glue gun. You may notice, covered in different inks. It's a what's the word? Great Escape Games. It's a Great Escape Games house, but I had to shorten it. And it's all done very crudely because that's how I do stuff. Vaguely off-putting, well done. So I had to shorten the house and sort of bodge bits together, components from the house. And then obviously I got to use coffee stirrers for like the first proper time. So that side went better. That one merged in a lot better. I don't know what happened there, but I turned it into patch up some blood there, and he's there going. "Ooh." So I got to see the bottom bit's going to have loads of flock and tufts and all that, and it's blood splattered on them. What? He was in Sleepy Hollow as an extra. I got to see the way. Tell us what point. Can you be seen, or are you in the background? Are you a featured extra? Or do you see you at any point where you can pause it and go, there he is? And Theatre, what? I didn't know this. So I finished my horse house nearly, and I'm going to use that just as a bit of weird terrain, I think. I mean, I was pleased that I did the bottom too. Even Andy said he saw it in progress and he had his doubts, but that I'd managed to make it work. So yeah, I even did the base. That cordless glue gun is where it's at. I'm going to show you it. Just put the horse house back in there. It bends to here. I should get a cut of big glue gun. It's the amount of people I've shown these to. Look at that. Stands flat, just stands flat, doesn't go. And it was like 15 quid or something. And you just charge it up there, and it lasts for ages. It stands up. So I'm back on the glue gun train now. There's no stopping me. Not a single stop. And I finished. I'm really pleased with these. Again, they were very sort of experimental, but came out nice minis from Kinsfolk. I love these. As soon as I saw them posted, I was like, need these, need these. So I'm excited to take proper photos of these. The two tallies. So again, I mostly just put a whole bunch of washes on them. Oy. The old drippy blood. I love the drippy blood. Oh yeah, that glue gun. The fact you can just take it somewhere and just repair something without having to have it dangling everywhere. So these tall, there's two of them. Yeah, I should get hired by Big Wireless Glue Gun. Hello, Pandemonium's behind. So got those two again. You'll see them properly, but I'm really happy with them. I didn't even go for any tufts on the bases because I thought that I don't know if they'll hang out where tufts are. There's the butts. I'll do one at a time. You might actually see it. Yeah, the butts, butts. And they look a lot better in person because they've got so many little nuances where all the inks have combined. I'm really happy with them. So thank you, Kinsfolk, for those. Always butts, and look how big they are. Wow. And they do fit quite nicely with Mr. Ghoul. Oh, they can kiss. Hang on. Oh yeah. You come? You come to the channel for? Put those back in there. What else have I got? Things of the year, community minis. Community minis has had issues because I'm not perfect. After me going, I get all my things shipped. People have been waiting quite a while on community minis. I need to do an update or blog for it because that is where I'm supposed to do all the central updates. We are having some movement. John has got them for painting. They will be painting very soon. As soon as they're painted, I'll photograph them. I've got the cards made for them. So they just need that last bit of last step ready. The minis are ready. I want to have a photo at least for the what's her name, Olga of Kiev, because she's holding two birds, and I want it to be clear which bird goes where. Because once you get it on perfect, because you're a bit like, oh, is this fiddly? And then once you have it in the perfect way, they fit on really nice. So I want to make sure you don't accidentally put them, because John was tempted to do the birds going up. Up out of hand, but they're more forwards. It's more like launching the birds this way. So they're nearly caught up, which will be nice because I've had a year long guilt, not a year long, but a long guilt over them because they took a lot longer than expected, because they were originally supposed to be something like June, and then it was kind of September, and then it just fell into my massive depression era where it just nothing was able to happen, which was really frustrating. And but now I'm really pleased that I got loads of that stuff caught up at the end. And whenever we do relaunch it, we will, because I want to do lots more with community minis because I love it. But I need to make it in a way that's just a lot more streamlined. Give it some way bigger lead times and stuff. Being hopeful and going, it'll take me long. It did. So I will, when I've figured it out, I'm going to launch that questionnaire as well to see how you feel about different elements of it. But it's something I want to grow and have a lot smoother running and faster and all that, so we get lots more of these minis, because there's so many I want to have for community minis that be ace. So thanks for having faith in me on that, because I do know that it's been a long sort of project. Thank you. What else? I've been on a roll. Let me see if I've got any coffee left. I do. I have a coffee left. Um, I've written World War II and society. Oh yeah, I've got a few other things I've got to show off. Oh yeah, this unrelated to anything. I was at Fenris Ian, and he had these, and I was like, "What's that? Is that little like deodorant or shampoo?" No, it's a painting handle. And obviously, I went, "You can have one." It also comes with this magnet, so you can attach the magnet to anywhere you like, but they're also magnetic, so if you've got one of those metal things, they just stick on. But if not, you can just find an area, put the magnet on it, and then stick it on. But painting handles have never appealed to me because they always just seem gimmicky. Like they just don't need one. But I've been struggling on some of the smaller. So I'm like, oh, painting handle to get a grip. Um, but the fact that they're not aesthetic, it just means they're really handy. I can't remember where they're from. Well, that's just red grass. Maybe it's red grass. Hey, there you go. But that handle. So before I stole one from him, I put one of his minis on there. You just get this like gum tack or blue tack or whatever. And I was like, dang, this is good. This is good. And it's got a cool magnet. So never affiliated, but woo, that's cool. Going to be using that on the horrific Forbidden Beast man, which I haven't started yet, but he will be painted. So probably not today. It's more in the sort of getting things all ready for return to work tomorrow. So I might do a bit of laptop work, a bit of tidying, although not too bad. Right, I bought a fairy light mesh, and I put it up in my room last night, and I had to do the grand reveal to Andy. I was like, ta-da, look at this, what a cool chilled room. And I think he said, hmm, which is high praise. All these wet palette people, like all you wet palette folk, going there. Once you go through it. So Andy's got an air fryer, and I fear we're about to become air fryer people now. But yeah, I'm saying every time Andy walks past and he goes, "You should get a wet palette. Why aren't you using a wet palette?" And I go, "I know, and I know I'd become a wet palette person, but it's changed. I was going to fear change. I've got a bit of plastic, and that's really good. Oh, look at those nails. Um, I like my bit of plastic. I'm just resistant to change, and then sometimes when I do get the change, I'm like, oh. So another bit of last year that I was happy about was that I did my first talk. Um, air fryer gang, air fryer gang. Um, I did my first talk, so I learnt from the talks that I went to. Did my first talk, and I think it went down wicked. I had my first article. I have done articles before, but not for specifically women in history, which is quite scary. So in a history article, which is wargames, soldiers, and strategy, I'm going to be doing my second talk at ChillCon very soon in March. So I need to get practicing on that, because I want to add a little bit more. Sabati said, I love leaving my paint pots open and having to add water to them now and again as they dry out under my 100-watt daylight bulb. Exactly, the old ways, the classics. Air fryers make awful wet palettes. Yes. I think because I'm also not that fussy about things being the exact same color either. So because Andy was like, "Well, you need to match same color," I'm like, "Yeah, I'll just do it on top, and it'll be close enough, and it'll be fine." I am a monster, I'm a monster. Yeah, the blister packs are perfect for it. See, the books I have been going through. This is what I took to Mum's as well as clothes, and I've gone through all these. I was going to do a video, and obviously, if that happens, which is why I like these lives. I was going to do a bit of a clickbait video, something like 10 things I'm glad I did, and 10 things I shouldn't have done in 2024 as a small business owner, something like that. Because I was thinking about goods and bads, but then I thought I don't really want to focus on bads. But one of the bads that's a good is that I need to remind myself to trust my gut more and less override that because somebody has said something. And that sounds very vague, but that's all you're getting. But a lot of times where I've gone, I'm not sure about that, and then someone else has gone, no, your gut is wrong. I've gone, okay, and then the thing's been terrible. I'm going to try and do that less. So my my little World War II booklet's got more notes in it now. Woo! Still loads of empty pages. Germany, Netherlands, and France have been quite filled up with notes. A little teaser. Woo! What's she been writing? You'll never know. Not yet. So I've been filling in. I've written loads of notes while I've been at Mum's. Just sat in the kitchen, and she's gone, "You have to work." Let's not work, Mum. So I got read through this, which is great. It's got the actual pamphlets in, which is it's been really inspiring. These pamphlets, just everything that they did. Can confirm for sure. Hans and Sophie are going to be models. Woo! That's a bad balance. Let's get those at 5 fingers and toes. This book's been incredible. It's quite heavy. It's lots of different essays. But that's had some really good, interesting. This is the one when I put society. It was talking about how resistance uses, especially then, uses the existing social differences between men and women, not inherent genetic ones, just from society. Women are encouraged to do this, men are encouraged to do that. So things that are less suspicious. So if you're going outside of your gender role, it's less suspicious. So women organising parties and socials and things like that. That's not seen as weird, especially back then. So, oh no, the air fryer air fryer squad. Andy's won over immediately. I haven't had a go on it yet. I don't know if you'll let me. It's probably got a chain around it. But yeah, there's loads more I'll go into on that because we're over like an hour now. Yeah, just using the bits of women that are overlooked because it's just like, oh, it's just a woman having a party, when it's not. It's all these spies meeting up. So yeah, you can definitely tell. I didn't read the entire book, so there's gaps where they weren't as relevant because there's so many books to go through. So I've been picking and choosing. No, yeah, there's different essays. That book's amazing. I bought that in York in that really tall bookshop in York. So I'm trying to explain to Mum, who goes, "Don't you have enough books?" I'm like, "No, I collect them, and then when I need them, they're here for me." I've devoured this. This I highly recommend. It's just very interesting. There's so many people that should be known about. Again, I didn't write as many notes in this because I could have just noted the whole thing. I think that's why I wrote a lot more than the bits. But there's some wicked people in this. It goes a bit into Spanish Civil War. Spanish Civil War as well. There's some really good ones in that. And I've now started following Avery on the socials. Currently getting my way through this. That far in. I haven't made many notes on that one so far because it's got to be specific to the project. We're in the starter, or I've got a bunch of the info from another book. The other ones I brought with me but haven't done anything with yet. Oh, the Kate Biggers book. Woo. Which I need to read because it's one I always go, yay, Kate Biggers, but I haven't actually properly read the book. And this one, Behind the Fireplace, Dutch Resistance. So there's Resistance with Robert, Robert, this book. Because there's a crossover, obviously, of like some of the people who fought in the Spanish Civil War or was involved in Spanish Civil War resistance or whatnot, then went on to do stuff in World War II. It's mentioned quite a lot though. That's good. Obviously, as this book, whoa, there's a whole lot of places involved in resistance. It's going to be massive. And that's what freaked me out this year is like, oh no, this project's going to be enormous. So I'm going to break it down into many smaller Kickstarters. But when we're getting the dollies made, have a bit of everything in mind. So for the first wave, I really want to do Germany. Cheers, Robert. I really want to do Germany, German resistance, because I think that's really important and overlooked a lot as well. And yeah, there's just so many people around Germany that just did some really incredible things. And it's a way of adding Germany to my collection. But it's that whole because there's so many, well, not famous, but you know, when people go, "Oh, you're doing German figures, you're doing camp guards," and I'm like, no. But resistance, it's that like again inspiring of just like these are the people you need to know about the stuff that they did, and again if there's the learning and all that and the nicety but also the game value of what people are going to use them for, and they just make really good resistance and you can do loads of games based around that. So there's what I say when people go, why are you doing like that's a million German and SS men figures and all that. I don't really want to add to that. Mum's surprised she didn't find a casserole in the bag. No casserole. Um, but so Germany is something I really want to do. So we've got Hans and Sophie is going to be one. I've started writing down the definites of who's going to be who, and the Dutch. I think so. Germany, Netherlands, and maybe France. France is going to. They're all pretty huge, but yeah, if I do a start for them, and then we can just keep adding. Italy might make the first load as well. But yeah, it's just getting as much written down, as many ideas, and then I can just start compiling. So what I've started doing in the main page of the people, I'll go for Germany. No, I'll go for Netherlands. Where's Netherlands? No, not you. Where are you? Oh, there you are. Let's start. Oh look. What's that? That's a pack decided. Woo! Frida Bellinfante, that's the name I was trying to think of yesterday. Willem Arondu, they were both, I don't know if it's pronounced Arondu, they were both to do with the municipal register being blown up in the Netherlands. And Bet van Beeren, my new favourite, is a butch cafe owner who was nearby, and she let them, well, she was part of it as well, but they had stored all the weapons and bombs and things in her cafe, and she's a bit of a local hero. So it's like, that's the municipal register gang, that's a pack. Yes, MJ says I'd love someone to do some diverse body types for all nations rather than almost everyone be straight from central casting. Yeah, because it's that whole they're just normal people. They're not specifically soldiers or anything like that. Obviously, some people have, but not all. I rewatched the Churchill's Warriors show that's on Netflix at the moment. And that's really good, and that shows a lot of that. Yeah, the skill of being unnoticed, sort of overlooked. There was one I took a note of. Let me find it because it's where I went. Oh yeah, I can appreciate that. Where was it? Where is she? Definitely not Josephine Baker for this specific quote. Where is she? I remember what corner I put the note on. We'll get there. We'll get there. Was it you? Oh, wasn't you? Wasn't you? That was it. Rose Valland. Being a studious middle-aged lesbian proved an ideal cover for French resistance work. Excellent. So her dowdy looks did not invite the advances from Germans, and she was regarded by all as an insignificant administrative functionary. Which, yeah, it's like she has just had the look of someone that they just go, yeah, she's not going to be a spy. She's just some studious middle-aged lesbian. So that was brilliant. So yeah, that sort of thing, how it was just really unassuming people. I got there. Yes, MJ, you're currently paying some grey for now. Um, yeah, let's go. As a 6'2" trans woman, I tend to stand out, be memorable, but maybe that could be everything can be the skill. Like the famous people that were spies, because it's almost then it's so plain sight that it's like, no, they can't be doing anything shenanigans. Yeah, so I've got really into the resistance because it's so much of these like women's weaknesses being weaknesses being strengths because of just being totally underestimated, which is obviously something that a lot of people here can relate to, and something that I've been very frustrated with, especially as a business owner and being overlooked by things, and like, oh, no one's taking me seriously, and then I'm being inspired by these women to go and do crimes, maybe no, to use that to your advantage, and yeah, it's what was it? There was a good quote from the 6888, and I can't remember what it was. There are lots of good quotes, but yeah, I'm rambling now. Go on this. It's been an hour or so. Should probably head off. There's a whole bunch of people. Yeah, Chills. Thank goodness we've moved past all that sexist nonsense. Oh wait, yeah, yeah. That's the sadness of reading things. You're like, not much has changed really. Like the medieval women's exhibition, which I still massively recommend, is that you're seeing people with the same issues, like, oh, women shouldn't be judged for what they're wearing, and it was all that time ago. But then there's some sort of weird connection to that where you kind of like, I don't know, I don't know what word is, feel what they were feeling, but so long ago. Not sure. So yeah, the resistance has got me really hyped because it's there's just so many really cool stories and so many forgotten stories. There's the famous ones, but there's so many that just aren't as famous. And I want to do so much different resistance from across largely Europe, but then there's outside of that as well. Alex says, brings them back, makes them real. Yes. So there's so much to be done. For now, I'm definitely ignoring the East just because I feel that's going to be a way bigger project as well. And there's a difference. Kind of then there's the fashion difference as well. Because I'm trying to all these fashion books and I'm trying to get a lot of this European where the fashion would be similar to do bits of crossovery. Because I want to do a very large Yugoslav force, because that's a whole bit, and the Soviets. So they're not going to be on the initial project. This is going to be more on sort of civilian-y looking types, with things like guns hidden in baguettes. Such a good story, gun in a baguette, that sort of thing. With a few sort of uniformed, like Frida and I can't remember his name. Hang on, Willem. Were dressed as police when they went into the municipal register. That was a disguise, so I might like put those in police uniforms. Bet's going to be in her motorcycle gear, so it's just going to be a ragtag. So that's going to be ace. So I'm really, MJ says, hope funds are available at the right time. Me too. Which is also why I'm going to do unexpected item in the baguette area. That's it. So that's why I'm going to do them as smaller projects, because you have to expense. You have to pay so much upfront for Kickstarters, which becomes defeating the point of it. So by doing little ones, then hopefully, as long as they do well, that then sets up the money for the sculpts for the next one, and we can just keep it going. At the same time as doing the community minis and getting, I really want to do some more medieval, especially as I've got lots of medieval talks, not to influence the polling at all. So I will be figuring out how to get that redone. But generally, I am pretty hyped to be going back to work tomorrow in a good way, not like, oh, it's been so boring. But I've got myself nicely rested that I'm, there's a lot of problems to be tackling in the new year in a business capacity. But I feel like I'm ready to tackle them. I say that, I'll have one setback and be like, oh no, oh, yeah. Um, and I will fill you in on Sunday. I have a interview for a small voluntary role later in the week, which I need to not forget about. Which will be interesting to see how that goes. Right, I am going to do. What am I going to do today? I'm going to eat something. I'm going to clean the guinea pigs out. They all say hello. They say weep weep for the new year. Thanks for coming along. Thanks for. Well, I've got sniffly now. For not feeling too abandoned over Christmas, because I was like, oh no, I've abandoned everyone, but also I need to just be off in my own little world. But I painted all those things with blood on them. Woo! All right, I'm going to get out. Thank you. You are ace. Happy New Year, and we see you soon. I'll be doing a newsletter soon as well. A bunch of bits in as well. And yeah, if you want those new backdrop books, go check them out on the website as well. Right. Bye.